Hey there, it's Red. Welcome back to the garden. It's been a while since we've done a yard tour, and so much has grown over the last 6 months, especially through winter with the succulents popping off and coming into spring now in San Diego. There's a lot to showcase and a lot to see. One of my favorite new additions is right here. We have a bird feeder and a bird bath, and we have so many little finches that are coming up every day. We have a couple mourning doves that are nesting in the backyard, and we always see them out here. It is just so much fun to watch them. First up, we got the cactus on the front stoop here. You can see that they are doing very well. I recently added some sand in there so they can kind of pop out of the pot versus them just being in dirt. Got the leucospurnums that are, or pincushion flower, that are blooming, and the hummingbirds just love them. The bees love them. And I'm so happy I was able to film this around 2 hours before sunset. The sun on our front patio and in our backyard is just stunning. It's so relaxing and everything just gets a nice little glisten on it. So sit back and enjoy. Now that we've been here for about a year and a half and all the plants have more or less been in the same spot during that time, everything is really coming into themselves. They're feeling comfortable where they're at and they're really coming to life and growing and just getting full and colorful. This cactus in particular has grown probably 2 feet since we moved here. You can see that line on it. It was where it was a year and a half ago. And we also have my favorite sunflowers around the yard. And I had to put these little cages on them to protect the seedlings from the squirrels and the birds that were foraging on the ground. We have the fountain that I've been wanting to do something with since the day I moved in, but I haven't really done much to it, but I've been watering it and fertilizing it by hand, and it's doing so much better than when we first got here a year and a half ago. The agave bouquet is really coming into itself. I got some smaller agaves on the ground there because I want to make a smaller one that I can have inside. The heart cactus is doing great. I bought probably close to 1,000 little succulents, little 1-inch succulents. You'll see them throughout the yard. I found this place that I could get them for 30 cents a piece, so I went kind of crazy because it was about an hour and a half away from my house, and now my girlfriend is being very gracious as I'm storing them while I'm using them. We have the plumeria that you just saw is kind of late this year. All the plumerias are kind of late because it's been a really dry, hot winter in San Diego this year, so everything's kind of stunted. And off to the backyard, which the backyard is where we have the most new additions since the last yard tour video. As we walk by the staging area for all the soil, you'll see the jade plants with their spent blooms. They kind of have really nice, rusty color to them, so I like to leave them on the plant for a while. Got a smattering of things here. This jade plant in the pot here is actually rotting sadly, so I'm going to throw that out pretty soon. The burro's tail is doing great in the winter. They do so much better when it's cooler and they're in the shade. I'm actually going to have to go through and trim it up here pretty soon. Here's a concrete casting of the faces of my girlfriend and I. You'll see them kind of throughout the yard. It's another thing I like to do as well. I have all my friends' faces I've done their cast, and I've been sending them out to people. And here is our cut flower garden mixed with a little bit of a vegetable garden. We have such little ground space at this house that I'm just trying to pack everything in there. And then there's me in the mirror right there. Here again is the sunlight just coming down on our back patio, and it is just such a nice time of day to be back here, and with the time change we can actually enjoy it after work. So as we pan across the deck, I just recently put a split leaf philodendron in between the 2 chairs over there, which I love the vibe of that. It just really matches. I had a succulent there for a while, didn't really do it for me, but that little tropical feel is what I'm looking for right now. And then we pan over here to one of the newest additions, which is the succulent frame, kind of next to all the other little smatterings of the pots you might have seen in the repotting videos and our chimenea. All the succulents are just doing so good right now in the winter time in San Diego. It's not too hot for them. A lot of them have been blooming over the years. And then with the newest addition here, we have the succulent frame, which I absolutely love so much. I've been making smaller ones, which you'll see later in the video, just to try to see if I can maybe sell them locally. And off to the back corner of the house, those planter boxes there are for a client. I'm going to fill them with succulents and make a video, so keep an eye out for that. We have our archway that I have not gotten anything to grow on at all, so I just plant tomatoes at the base of them, so I'm really hoping those are kind of foolproof. They'll be able to fill up the archway. Got the little bonsai jade corner still kicking. Recently put that monstera in the ground, so hopefully that'll go over the archway eventually. I'm really trying to get anything to grow up there. Got the nasturtiums at the bottom of the pots in case the tomatoes die. Here's some more of the smaller succulent frames, which I actually lost some of them because the sun reflected off of the mirror right there and burnt it. You can kind of see, I noticed when I was filming this video, so unfortunately I have to replant like half of them and then more of the 1,000 succulents I bought. Thanks for stopping by the garden, and be sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel.